Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are breaking down a device that is stirring up a massive conversation in the tech world right now, the Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Carbon Gen 13. Now, if you just glance at it, you'd probably think it's a laptop that looks exactly like its predecessor. But trust me, we're about to uncover some seriously huge internal changes that completely redefine what this machine can actually do.
But okay, right out of the gate, we've got to address the elephant in the room. This hyper-premium device commands a staggering price tag of around $2,500. I mean, for a laptop that's primarily designed for business professionals, that is a serious investment. You might literally be asking yourself right now, am I really just buying an email machine for $2,500? So, to figure out if it's actually worth that sky-high price, we're going to systematically examine this machine. We'll cover the $2,500 identical twin design, how Lunar Lake changes everything, the premium build and display, the catch regarding its performance limits, and finally, ask if it's worth the ThinkPad tax. Let's get right into it. Starting with Section 1, the $2,500 identical twin. Are we really paying a premium for the exact same look?
Let's dive into why this might initially seem like a questionable buy based purely on the outside. Because on the outside, the Gen 13 looks completely identical to the Gen 12. It retains the exact same chassis design, the same excellent speaker system, the same haptic trackpad options, and of course, that classic ergonomic ThinkPad keyboard with its 1.5 millimeters of key travel. Literally, if you sat them side by side, you wouldn't be able to tell them apart. But here is where the story gets really interesting. Last year's Gen 12 was notoriously frustrating, leaving users with burned fingers, dealing with super loud, annoying fans, and struggling with frankly atrocious battery life. But this mostly identical-looking Gen 13, it provides an entirely different experience. It hides major internal upgrades that completely solve all those frustrating thermal and efficiency issues. It stays cool, whisper quiet, and gives you true all-day battery life. Which brings us nicely to Section 2. Lunar Lake changes everything. The x86 efficiency revolution is finally here. The secret to this night-and-day improvement lies entirely in the brand new brain powering this machine. What Intel has pulled off here is a real game changer. The X1 Carbon Gen 13 is powered by Intel's brand new Lunar Lake platform, also known as Core Ultra Series 2. You know how for years Windows Ultrabooks struggled with efficiency? Well, Lunar Lake finally brings incredible ARM-like battery efficiency to a standard Windows laptop, all while maintaining full traditional x86 compatibility. Basically, you get the battery life of a mobile chip without sacrificing any of the software compatibility you rely on for work. So what does that actually look like in practice? Thanks to this new chip, reviewers are consistently seeing around 7.5 hours of true, real-world battery life under normal office use. And to put that into perspective, that's not just sitting idle on a desk. That is with a bright 250-nit display while hopping on Zoom calls, using Slack, and running Microsoft 365 apps. It means you can comfortably work from 9 to 5, at a cafe or outdoors, and literally leave your charger at home. And it gets better. The crucial point isn't just how long the battery lasts in a single day, but how you manage it over the laptop's entire lifespan. In a massive win for longevity and sustainability, the 57 watt-hour Rabbit Charge battery inside this thing is now actually user replaceable. This is absolutely fantastic news and hints at a highly requested return to the golden era of repairable ThinkPads. Moving right along to Section 3, Premium Build and Display. What exactly makes up the face value of this laptop? Beyond just the revolutionary new processor, Lenovo goes to great lengths to justify that premium price tag with some seriously high-end hardware choices. By using a highly premium mix of magnesium and carbon fiber, they've engineered a wildly durable laptop that weighs an incredibly light 970 grams. Being under 1 kilogram makes a huge noticeable difference when you pick it up. Plus, they've added an anti-fingerprint soft-touch finish, totally solving that old ThinkPad problem of the chassis looking greasy after just a day of typing. And despite being under a kilogram and just 14.3 millimeters thin, they haven't compromised on connectivity at all. You get a full suite of I/O ports, 2 standard USB-A ports, 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports, an HDMI 2.1 port, and a standard 3.5mm audio jack. Getting this level of connectivity on an Ultrabook this light is incredibly rare, meaning you won't need to carry around a bag full of dongles everywhere you go. The visual experience? Equally, if not more, premium. You're getting a gorgeous 2.8K OLED screen featuring a buttery smooth 120Hz refresh rate, which just makes navigating around Windows feel incredibly snappy.
The display hits 400 nits of brightness, has an anti-glare treatment, and boasts a delta E of just 0.55. Simply put, the color accuracy is absolutely stunning right out of the box. All right, section 4, the catch, performance limits. Let's talk about the trade-offs of this ultimate efficiency. Because as with all cutting-edge tech, this incredible efficiency and hyperportability do come with distinct compromises you absolutely need to know about before dropping $2,500. Because the RAM is physically integrated right onto the Lunar Lake chip itself, memory is strictly capped at a maximum of 32 gigabytes. You literally cannot get 64 gigs on this platform. If your workflow explicitly demands 64 gigs of RAM, you're forced to choose a different, more power-hungry processor, like Intel's Arrow Lake. And if you do that, you're going to completely sacrifice that amazing all-day battery life. Plus, it's vital to set your expectations regarding raw power. As one reviewer brilliantly put it, using the X1 Carbon Gen 13 for rendering is like asking me to do weightlifting. It effortlessly handles heavy office tasks, complex spreadsheets, and compiling basic vlogs. But if you ask it to render complex 3D files in Blender or heavy timelines in DaVinci Resolve, the machine will struggle and you will definitely hear those fans kick into overdrive. It can do it in a pinch, but it's just not built for it. And that brings us to our final part, section 5. Is it worth the ThinkPad tax? Face value versus name value. With the specs, the battery life, and the limitations all laid out, who is this actually for? Well, when you pay $2,500, you are really paying for two things. First, you've got the face value, the ultralight carbon fiber and magnesium, the lightning-fast Gen 5 SSD, the OLED screen, and that game-changing all-day battery. But you're also paying for the name value, the legendary ThinkPad prestige, that iconic track point, military-grade durability, and a business reputation that has been absolutely flawless since the 1990s. Ultimately, for business professionals who travel often and just want a flawless, secure, and premium Windows experience without any of the usual hardware headaches, it perfectly checks every single box. It runs cool, it runs quiet, it has top-tier security with a fingerprint reader and facial recognition, and the portability is simply unmatched. But as we wrap up this explainer of the Gen 13, I want to leave you with one provocative thought to consider. With other really powerful laptops on the market at the specific sky-high price point, are you truly paying for the exclusive hardware capabilities of the device itself? Or are you just paying a premium for the status and reliability of the ThinkPad logo? It's a question only your workflow and your wallet can answer. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep questioning the tech you use every day.